Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a really core question for, well, any business looking to grow. Where does that real sustainable growth actually come from? We hear so much about chasing new customers, right? But today, we're kind of flipping that. Our focus is going to be on the huge potential, often untapped, I think, sitting right there with the customers you already have. And to help us explore this, we're drawing on insights from a recent podcast chat featuring Keith, Jon, AJ, and Patricia Rubio, who's a real expert in customer-centric growth. So our mission today, it's really to understand why focusing on your current customers can drive, exponential growth and how businesses can actually shift their mindset. And Patricia Rubio, she's not just talking theory here. She has over 2 decades of experience helping businesses translate that customer understanding into actual revenue, a better ROI, less operational hassle. Apparently, she's got a real talent for spotting those places where revenue just leaks away. So let's think about this for a second. What if your best growth strategy isn't constantly hunting for new leads? What if it's about getting, well, almost obsessive about understanding and valuing the people who are already your customers? I mean, think about the sheer effort and cost involved in getting someone new through the door. Doesn't it just make sense to figure out how to better nurture the relationships you've already built? So let's dive right in with Patricia Rubio on this. When a business decides, okay, we need to shift focus from our product, oh, their baby, they've spent ages perfecting towards the customer. What's the biggest mistake or hurdle you tend to see right at the start?
Yeah, it's a common one. Businesses often get incredibly good at refining their product,
Hmm.
their core offering. They put so much work into it, making it faster, better, whatever. And that's great. It really is. But the pitfall, the place they often stumble, is not applying that same level of detailed work, that same deep analysis to understanding the people using it. Understanding what those users actually
Yeah.
need from it. There tends to be this really strong emphasis on the features themselves. The bells and whistles, the
The
spark.
speeds and feeds kind of thing.
Exactly. And look, those things matter. Of course they do. But sometimes the original why was this product even created? And more importantly, the outcomes customers actually want from those top
Yeah.
features, that gets a bit lost. So the really critical mindset shift, the evolution in thinking, it's moving from focusing primarily on the thing, the product, to really actively focusing on the person, the customer,
Yeah.
their specific needs, their goals.
That makes a lot of sense. It's moving from the what to the who and why. Okay, so if a business really commits to this shift, to genuinely prioritizing existing customers, what sort of time frame are we talking about for seeing results? Is this like a 5-year plan, or can you see an impact sooner?
Well, this is the fascinating part, actually. The impact can be almost immediate.
Really? That quick?
Yes, surprisingly quick sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the moment businesses pivot, the moment they start actually listening and asking better questions, things like, how fast are you seeing results? Or what specific value are we bringing to your work, your life?
Mhm.
When they do that, existing customers feel seen. They feel heard, understood, cared for. And that feeling, that makes a difference right away. And that positive experience, that feeling of being valued, it tends to spread like wildfire. It builds loyalty, obviously encourages more business from them. But then those happy customers, they become your best salespeople.
Your advocates.
Exactly. They start bringing in new business for you organically.
Your passion for this really comes through. I even noticed looking at your recent LinkedIn activity, the word customer just pops up again and again. I think someone counted it like 26 times in recent posts. It really shows where your focus lies. Okay, shifting gears just a tiny bit, but still related. In all the conversations you've had, interviewing customers, gathering that raw feedback, has there been one comment that just stuck with you as maybe particularly funny or memorable?
Oh, definitely. There's one I often think back to. I was doing a customer interview, and the person just looked at me and said, completely deadpan, my marketing sucks.
Wow, blunt.
Very blunt. But that's what's so insightful, right? It's not just the humor, though it's funny. It's how customers describe their problems in their language. They're not using our industry buzzwords. They're giving you their reality, straight up. And buried in that, my marketing sucks, is a real nugget of truth about the challenges they're facing. It forces you to read between the lines, doesn't it?
That's a brilliant point, digging past the surface comment to the underlying issue. Now, before we move towards wrapping up this segment, you mentioned earlier, maybe off air, something about business books you feel are underrated. Could you give us just a little teaser on that? Why you think some books deserve more attention, especially for this customer-centric approach?
Ah, yes. Well, it's an interesting point, isn't it? Where do businesses look for advice? There are so many popular business bestsellers. Many are great, they offer solid advice, but I do think there are some, perhaps lesser-known books that offer really fresh, sometimes quite profound perspectives specifically on building those deep customer relationships. They often challenge the standard ways of thinking, offer different frameworks. It's something we could definitely dig into more another time, perhaps.
We would absolutely love that. Definitely something to revisit. But for now, let's try and pull together the main threads from this discussion. The core takeaway, really, from this deep dive and hearing your perspective is just the incredible and often missed power you get from focusing on your existing customers. That it's a driver for real, significant, and maybe most importantly, sustainable growth.
Your message seems crystal clear. Your next best customer. They're probably already on your list.
Very likely, yes. And that brings us to you, listening right now. Maybe take a second to reflect on your own experiences. Can you think of a time you felt really valued as a returning customer, maybe compared to when you were brand new? How did that affect your loyalty? Did it make you stick around? And think about the companies you use regularly. Do they feel like they're always chasing new people? Or do they seem genuinely invested in, nurturing the relationship with you, the person already there? What difference does that make in how you feel about them or how you behave? So here's a final thought, kind of building on what we've discussed, but pushing it a bit further. In this world that's just saturated with marketing, everyone's shouting for new eyeballs, new acquisitions. Could it be that true differentiation, that lasting success, actually lies in radical customer centricity, like really turning your current users into passionate advocates? What untapped opportunities might be sitting right there inside the network you've already built? It's definitely something worth thinking more about.